Hello, Seiiti Arata. Let's play a game. You have to choose to put your hand in one of two bags. Bag A contains 100 candies, 50 strawberry candies and 50 peppermint candies. Bag B also contains 100 candies that are either strawberry or peppermint, but the exact proportion is unknown. You will win a cash prize if you close your eyes, put your hand in a bag, and you get a strawberry candy. Well, it is pretty clear that bag A will give you 50% chance of winning. But you have no idea how many candies in the bag B are the winning ones of strawberry flavor. Maybe also 50%, maybe 99%, maybe 1%. You don't know. Which bag would you choose? Well, most people would choose bag A simply because of this cognitive bias known as the ambiguity effect. Because we prefer the choice that we clearly know what the odds are. But it gets more fascinating than that. Now let's continue the game, and this time you will need to pick a peppermint candy. And the bags are the same. Which bag would you choose? Can you see that it is irrational to once again choose bag A now in the second round? Because in the first round, you chose bag A because in your evaluation, probably bag B has less than 50% of strawberry candies. Well, if that is the case, now in the second round, you must necessarily choose bag B. So this is a paradox. It is called the Ellsberg Paradox. The Ellsberg Paradox, named after the economist Daniel Ellsberg, is a classic example of the ambiguity effect. It demonstrates that people tend to avoid options with uncertain probabilities, even if these options might be more advantageous. And this can be so strong that we even start to contradict ourselves, as just happened here in the second round of our game choosing the bags. Our brains are wired to prefer certainty and predictability, and that can lead us to make suboptimal decisions. To apply the ambiguity effect to a real-life scenario, just notice how you tend to reject uncertainty. Just to keep things well explained here, the ambiguity effect is a cognitive bias where people prefer options with known probabilities over the options with unknown probabilities. And this bias leads to the preference for familiarity, uncertainty, even if the unknown option might be more advantageous. Let's use two examples to demonstrate the ambiguity effect, and very soon we're going to also be talking in more details about the Ellsberg Paradox. You have the option to invest in two different stocks. Stock A is a well-known company with a stable history, while Stock B is an up-and-coming startup with the potential for huge gains, but it also carries more unknowns. Chances are, you might be more inclined to invest in Stock A, even if Stock B could provide you a higher return on your investment. And for a second example, let's say that you consider two job offers. Job A has a stable salary, but with limited growth opportunities, and Job B has the potential for a higher income and career growth, but the details, the specifics are not clear. Well, chances are you might prefer Job A because it sounds safer, more predictable, even if Job B could provide you a better outcome in the long run. If you want to think more clearly, you need to understand the difference between risk and uncertainty. The Ellsberg Paradox demonstrates people's preference for known probabilities, much more than unknown ones. We don't like the unknown, even if it leads to seemingly irrational decision-making. This paradox highlights the contradiction in human behavior when we're faced with choices involving risk and uncertainty. So, to understand this, you will need to understand the difference, what we're talking about when we refer to risk and uncertainty. Risk involves known probabilities. Uncertainty refers to unknown probabilities. Risk allows for calculated decisions. Uncertainty makes the whole decision-making more challenging. Let's explore two examples. One will be about weather forecasting, where the known probabilities are applicable, and another one from entrepreneurial ventures, where the unknown probabilities will prevail. About the weather forecasts rely on historical data that is known and advanced models to predict the likelihood of specific weather events. For example, the meteorologists might say there is 70% chance of rain tomorrow. This is a clear example of risk. The probabilities are based on measurable data, past occurrences. They know the numbers. And as a result, you can make an informed decision about whether you want to carry an umbrella or plan some outdoor activity. On the other hand, imagine that you're considering investing in a startup with the groundbreaking technology. That startup shows promise, but it depends on numerous factors to have success, like the market adoption, the competition, the management. There is no way for you to assign an exact number, a probability to the success of that startup. So that scenario is in the realm of uncertainty. In these cases, the decision-making becomes more complex, more challenging. Now the point here is that you should be aware of what you are not aware of. Because of the ambiguity effect, your brain is thirsty to find numbers, to have data, create risk models, and give you numbers. But the world is full of unpredictable events. You have to accept that. Because if you start to believe too much in your own risk models, you might not be deciding consciously. The confusion between risk and uncertainty can lead you to misguided decisions. For example, entrepreneurs might overestimate their chances of success just based on a few other success stories. They might be ignoring the uncertainty that is surrounding their own venture. This optimism can result in overconfidence and poor decision-making. To think more clearly, it is essential for you to recognize the difference between risk and uncertainty. While we can rely on the probabilities in some cases, like the weather events, there are many situations that are plagued by ambiguity. So when you embrace uncertainty and you actually develop a tolerance for uncertainty in your own decision-making, you improve your decision-making. You can have more effective problem-solving skills. To counter the ambiguity effect, you can try a few practical steps. You have to recognize when you're making decisions based on your desire for certainty. Ask yourself, are you choosing those options just because the probability number are being presented to you in a more clear way? Also, you should embrace calculated risks and weigh the potential rewards against the possible downsides. You have to weigh the potential benefits and the risks of each option instead of just focusing on what is more certain to have very clear numbers in front of you. Learn and research. Seek more information to make informed decisions, but just don't let analysis paralysis to take over. And most of all, you have to improve how you think. You can go to arata.se/intelligence to watch a special class on how to think better. By recognizing the Ellsberg Paradox in your decision-making process, you can start to make choices that are based in rational analysis rather than just your desire for certainty. Remember that it's just not about playing it safe. Sometimes embracing a little bit of uncertainty can lead us to better outcomes. And as an important takeaway, you need to learn to tolerate ambiguity and uncertainty. We're navigating in a complex world. So the next time you're facing a decision, always ask yourself, am I avoiding the uncertain option because I am uncomfortable with ambiguity? Or is there really a good rational reason for my choice? By being aware of the ambiguity effect and the Ellsberg Paradox, you'll be better equipped to make better decisions that will lead you to most rewarding outcomes, even when you're dealing with the unknown. The ambiguity effect and the Ellsberg Paradox show our inherent aversion to uncertainty and how uncertainty and this fear of uncertainty can cloud our decision-making abilities. To overcome this cognitive bias, it is crucial to recognize when we are choosing options solely based on our desire for certainty. Also, we need to know when we should take some calculated risk and, of course, continuously seek more and more knowledge to make informed decisions. You can start to improve your decision-making process and your thinking skills right now visiting arata.se/intelligence.